Ever wonder why your love life sometimes feels like it's stuck in neutral? It could be because you're not working with divine timing. I'm going to show you how aligning with this universal force can transform your relationships and finally get things moving. Hello, everybody. I'm Vaishali Nikhade. I'm an engineer turned psychic, and I show you how you can leverage the power of stars for your love life. After doing thousands and thousands of readings, I have found that divine timing plays out in my clients' lives in very obvious ways. For instance, one of my clients, she was stuck in a cycle of dead end dates. As soon as she started using divine timing, she kind of escaped this cycle, and then she would meet only people who were, let's say, not dead end sort of people. Another one, she just met a person, she just worked exclusively with divine timing. And then what she would do is she would put in all the work when the timing was not right or sow the seeds. And then when the timing was perfect, she would actually leverage the power of the stars to meet people. And this way, she kind of avoided this dead end cycle, which the previous person was involved in. When you sync with divine timing, so let's say that this is the timeline and this is 0 and this is 30 days. So when you sync with divine timing, let's say the divine timing is somewhere here. So maybe it's past 15. So let's say 22, 23, or 25 days. So if this is your divine timing, then when you sync with divine timing, what will happen is things will flow naturally in your love life. Opportunities will come knocking at your door. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what divine timing really means. What exactly is divine timing? How it affects romantic relationships, how you can recognize divine timing in your love life, and real life examples of divine timing. So, what exactly is divine timing? Divine timing is, think of it as a natural universal force when all the stars are aligned. So, for instance, if this is your time frame, let's say this is 0 and this is 30 days, and let's say this is 15. So, let's say 15 to maybe 20 days. So, this is when divine timing occurs, or this is when all the stars are aligned. Everything that happens in your life, it's going to happen effortlessly. You're not going to require that much work to get to the final results, because think of it as all the universal forces are making this time in such a way that it will spell success for you. So if you leverage this time, then it's going to spell success. So that's essentially what divine timing is. Whereas if you work during this time period, then essentially you may just have to put in a lot of work and not get to the result unless you come to this particular phase, and that's when you're going to get the results. So divine timing is essentially a chunk or a block of time during which, once you put in the work, you are very likely to see results. Now, how does it show up in your love life? So let's say that you're working to meet someone, or maybe someone who is very significant. If you're looking for a long-term relationships, this is when all the stars are going to be aligned and opportunity is going to come knocking at your door. Now, there's going to be varying degrees of divine timing. For instance, let's just say that this is what the divine timing is. So let's say this is 0 and this is 1. So 1 degree, if we take the two extremes, that this is when the divine timing is really weak, but it's still there, and this is when the divine timing is strong and it's extremely strong. So let's start with the one where it's extremely strong. So when it's extremely strong, and let's say that you are here, this is your home. I'm going to change the color so that you can see properly. Let's say that this is your home. Okay. So when the divine timing is extremely strong, essentially all these celestial forces, they're going to be so strong that they are all going to encompass your home, which means that the opportunity is kind of going to come and knock on your door. It could be in various forms. It could be in the form of an email. Maybe you're just sitting at your desk and you get an email or you get a phone call. But the key is that the opportunity comes knocking at your door. So this is when the divine timing is extremely strong. That is this part one. Now, let me just take another example when the divine timing is weak. So when the divine timing is weak, the opportunity does not come knocking at your door. Essentially, what's going to happen is you have to put in the work and get outside your comfort zone. So let's say you get one level out and you're putting in the work, and then you get the next level out and you're putting in the work. So the opportunity is somewhere here at this level. So this could mean putting in the work and maybe connecting with people or doing some research and following up on that research, finding those links and then connecting with more people. Or for instance, if you're just using Google, then here you get a bunch of sites or you get a bunch of videos, and then from this you get links to a different set of videos. So there's a different set of videos over here. Then you start to follow instructions, and then voila, here's what happens is the divine timing. Even though it was weak, you kind of put in the work. You got out of your comfort zone and you put in, let's say in this case, 2 levels of work, and the divine timing was there. It wasn't strong enough, but it was there. So when you put in the work, essentially you are able to see the results. So that's when the divine timing exists, but is really, really weak. And then the first example, when it's extremely strong, that's when even though you're not working, it's just going to come right to you knocking on your door. You have to be prepared to act on the opportunity, otherwise, the opportunity is going to be gone. So, how is it going to impact relationships? So, let's say that here, when the divine timing is really, really strong, essentially for relationships, it would mean that the right person would somehow find you and they would approach you. And things will start to flow naturally and they will fall in your lap. That's when the divine timing is strong, which is this case. Now, when the divine timing is not so strong, how is it going to impact relationships? So, the first one is if you don't do anything. If you don't do anything, nothing is going to happen. But if you do put in the work, then what will happen is you will see that you are required to put in a lot of work. So, you have to go from here to here, from here to there, that kind of a thing. So, essentially, the relationship is going to require a little bit of work, or you are going to have to put in more work than when the stars were favorably aligned. So then the question becomes that if this is my time scale, which is 0 to 30 days, then how exactly do I predetermine divine timing? Because if I know that this is divine timing, then essentially I have to be prepared to accept the opportunity, right? Because if during this time, let's say that I go to sleep or I am not in a position to accept the opportunity, then essentially the opportunity is gone. So it can be determined through divination. And there are different types of divination. One of them, for instance, is astrology. So I'm just going to write them here. So the first one is, let's say, astrology. Okay. And then the second one is, let's say, all the people who are psychics and who can do predictions and readings and those kind of things. And the third one is card readers. Essentially, card readers are kind of a type of psychics, but essentially they will kind of give you the predictions. So, of course, in as in every field, you have good card readers and good psychics, and the ones that are not that good in terms of giving you predictions. The same thing applies for astrologers too. So, the easiest way is if if you can tap into these people, which is exactly what I do. I kind of give you the place or the time or the phase when this divine timing is going to occur. Then they will say that during this time period, which is, I think we took 15 to 20 in this case, 15 to 20 is when you have to be really alert, because the opportunity is going to be there. So now that you know this, you can also go and subdivide this and you can have divine timing every week. So, for instance, this is your week. Now, every week there would be divine timing, it would just be for a different reason, which means that the stars are always shining and shedding their light, but in every case, they're going to affect or impact different aspects of your life. So, based on that, every week is going to be favorable for something, and you can take action based on where the stars are going to shine. So, this you have to either know, you have to get a prediction like from the psychic or the card reader or the astrologer. You have to get the prediction for this particular week and know exactly where or how the stars are going to shine. So, this is based on divination. And I'll put a link in the comments of how you can access that. I have a couple of different ways you can access those predictions. And then the second way is based on your intuition. Intuition is your ability to kind of decode that this is an opportunity and this is not an opportunity. And this is where I need to take action and this is where I don't need to take action. So I'm going to link the quiz here and you can take this quiz and see if your intuition is strong enough to be able to distinguish whether or not divine timing exists when a certain set of scenarios or situations occur. So that's the second part. Now, how do you recognize divine timing in your love life? So essentially, let's say that this week is where there's divine timing in your love life. So what will happen is you will notice synchronicities happening throughout that week. Something maybe you feel, you'll also recognize it emotionally that you will feel a little bit excited, you'll feel a little bit happy, you will feel that something is going to happen, maybe something good. Or if your feelings are not strong enough, then when it happens, you'll realize that things are changing or things are shifting in your love life. Another way to look at it is things will happen effortlessly. Remember, here I showed you that the opportunity was strong enough. It came knocking on your door. It essentially happened effortlessly. You won't have to put in that much work. Essentially, things are coming to you instead of you having to work for things. Now, this is like almost perfect divine timing, and it does happen, but it's not as frequent as if you put in a little bit of work, then essentially you are expanding your region, which means that the stars have to do less work. You put in half the work over here. So, what that would mean is that you are exposing yourself to get more opportunities or to kind of have more possibilities for success. So that's how the divine timing works. So even if you're clueless, you're going to recognize that this is divine timing because things are beginning to move, things are beginning to happen. Think of it this way. Let's say that this one is still valid. For instance, you start here, you start putting in the work, nothing is happening. Then you shift certain things. Then you start putting in the work, nothing is happening. Then you shift another set of things. Start putting in the work, nothing is happening. Shift another set of things. You keep doing that over and over until here you realize that, oh my God, all these changes I made over here, they kind of led me to this moment where everything was perfect and opportunity knocked on my door. So now it is not just enough to know when the divine timing occurs, which means that even if I give you a prediction, so let's take a real life case of Mina and Tina, and I have discussed this in another video. I'm going to point that video towards the end of this. Essentially, both of them had the same prediction. And let's take this slice. This is where divine timing was happening for both of them, and that was the period of a week. So if you expand this, this is the period of the week. And for the love life, it was favorable. The time or the period was favorable for them to meet someone. However, one person got the date and the other person did not get the date. So just having divine timing by itself it's necessary, but it's not sufficient. So why is it that one person got the date and the other didn't, even though both of them had the same action as far as divine timing was concerned, or the same set of circumstances, which means that the stars were in their favor for divine timing, yet one person got the date and then the other person did not get the date. This is what you're going to learn in the next video, and I'm going to link it here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat and then I will read them. And based on your suggestions, I'm happy to make any videos which would require more clarification on whatever I just said. I'll see you in the next video.